Just like that. Just like that. You're back in the season. We're ready to swing. We're rolling in OTAs. Loving it. Loving it. You doing tonight, fam? I know, right? I, Glenn Fittich tonight. There, yeah. I, stick with your single malts before this. I know I'm late. Let us begin. Fam, media observations of 49ers' second day of organized team activities. Tonight, going to the phones after going over some of the media coverage and details following today's May 23rd OTA's workout. And if you see the base of the screen right there, yeah. So you get the phone number there, and of course your PIN number's there as well. And get in here and let's talk some 49 football. Man, I'm telling you right now, I notes from today's media conference, Coach Kyle Shanahan provided his most encouraging update about quarterback Purdy, Brock Purdy's progress. Shanahan said after wrapping up OTAs regarding Brock, we're hoping, this is a quote, we're hoping for a week one. Remember when we were saying things like week 3 and possibly a little later? Now they're shooting for week 1. I guess you just never know how these things are going to work out. What really I find interesting is the fact that Kyle is really, he sounds frightened about the whole matter. Kyle, you got 2 other quarterbacks you could be working on too. Kyle goes on to say, and we feel pretty optimistic about that, unquote. Purdy will be allowed to begin throwing sometime next week. Again, that seems like ahead of the schedule we got a while back. He was expected to begin throwing at the 3-month mark. How long has it been? December, October, November. December, January, February, March. I guess this is right. April, May. Actually, March, April, May, June. Okay, yeah. Okay, we got it. Anyway, I know you counted it right already, right? Purdy said he is taking his recovery day to day, but said week 1 is the obvious goal. We all knew that. He's, quote, saying, I feel good. My arm is feeling good. That's the goal you want to be ready for the season, unquote. Mr. Purdy's baby boy has been able to go through drills, but he has been using a towel to simulate the throwing motion during his portion of this particular part of his therapy. So, hey, go ahead, get a Brock, get a big Brock. Fam, there are no demerits or fines handed out to players who don't show up at OTAs until mandatory minicamp in June, so there's no point in us passing any judgments on people not showing up for camp. It doesn't mean anything. So players not showing up today doesn't even mean they're slacking. You looking at the record here, the not seen in attendance today, Nick Bosa's working harder than anybody is in camp. I assure you that right now. Javon Hargrave, we don't know him that well, and what his work regimen is like. They haven't had any reports on that, but I imagine to do what he does, I doubt very seriously whether he's laying on a sofa eating Winchell's donuts, or even worse than that, Krispy Kreme donuts, and watching or getting full on watching an entire series on Netflix. Trent Williams is not there. I'm glad Trent Williams is taking this time off. He needs all the rest he can get, because we already know he is still going to be the world's best left tackle anyway, so it doesn't really matter what he does. Debo, see, I don't know. I guess Debo's not there. I'm not going to say anything else about it. Ray McLeod. Talanoa Hufanga, who did, though, attend 49ers fundraiser kickball game Sunday with the San Jose Police, though. Yeah, Talanoa, you go ahead, man. All right. Present but not practicing were Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw. Juwan Jennings got muscle tightness. He ran on the sidelines with Dre Greenlaw and Javarius Ward. Okay, so he's working. Returning Pro Bowlers who did practice include Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey must be scaring some 49ers. Okay, let's see what happens when the rest of the guys come back. Christian McCaffrey's out there busting ass like it's mid-season. Stop. I remember guys like that in high school. Really, during my time, it's 2-a-days were like for high school, right? And there'd be guys out there just going nuts, both in the morning and the afternoon sessions. Man, that dude. You know what? Just don't get caught up in his shadow. Coach will be looking at you like, What are you doing? Anyway, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, watching with a cast on his right wrist was Quantrez Knight, a practice squad standout of last year. Offensive line, first string left to right, Jalen Moore, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, Colton McKivitz. Yeah. Well, Tuesday Lance was back in that first team role, followed by the challenger, Sam Darnold. Then a little bit of former Bengals backup, Brandon Allen. 7-on-7 passing stats, Lance was 11 of 15. And pretty much that's what they did today. They would do 11-11s. Darnold was 12 of 16, so they're pretty much the same. Allen, 4 of 4. Of course, he's working with the third string, so, that makes it even more difficult, probably, because they're not as good as receivers. T. Lance said it took until the end of March for him to feel 100% recovered, mainly from last September's ankle fracture. But, fam, did you also know that some of these things that are coming out now are enlightening people a little more than previously. Also, on August 21st, finger fracture that impacted his grip into even last season. Coach Shanahan said that finger fracture impacted Lance a ton for the ensuing year. A ton. So, when we saw Trey throwing questionable passes offline and missed dramatically, his finger was not feeling well. So Lance's pass today looked like standard operating procedures, as did his footwork without the aid of an ankle brace. Lance said of his right ankle, which required a follow-up procedure in December to remove stabilizing hardware, quote, "I honestly don't even feel it or think about it." Okay, good. He goes on to say, "I'm sure there'll be something as the season comes up. Nothing bad, not missing time, but soreness or things like that. And I'll just continue to work through it, learn as I go, and figure out what works best," unquote. Trey, come on. All right, man. Because people are waiting. We love the way you fixed that throwing motion, too, by the way. It's being reported that Shanahan's focus on Lance's comeback is more about his footwork, as he is in today's presser quoted saying, "Play with your feet wider, always be in a position to throw." And you remember that part of the conference with Shanahan, because if you're going to put your feet together, you're getting ready to run, but then again you got to make a move to get open to get ready to throw. Coach seems more about that aspect of T. Lance at this stage and how Lance is meshing with his teammates at the starter or fill-in starter. So, and then there's the Salinger, the challenger, Sam Darnold. Darnold's taking a rookie approach to learning Shanahan's system after playing 3 years with the Jets and the past 2 with the Panthers. Darnold said about the experience, quote, "Learning a new system is always a challenge in itself, but at the same time, it's pretty fun, to be honest. In learning football and hearing the way Kyle talks about some things, and Greasy as well, and Brock and Trey, and being in it, and Brandon being in Cincy with Joe Burrow, there's a lot of good experiences to bounce certain questions off. It's going to be a fun year, and I'm looking forward to it," unquote. All right, Sam. All right, this is a fresh start. What are you going to do with it? Darnold said an area of self-emphasis is ball protection. He fumbled a snap today from Keith Ismail. But running back Ty Davis-Price recovered it in stride and ran with the ball. The funny thing about it, there wasn't because this is the time, there's really no assessment should be made. Kyle even said, I'm looking at mechanics. I'm looking at a lot of things that are going on out there. But the last thing I'm really concerned about with is anything beyond that, right? Grant was the only reporter, though, that detailed today's workout. Let's just run through it real quick. Defensive end Drake Jackson looked like a completely different person than he did last year as a rookie. Back then, he looked a little flabby. This is Grant. Get ready. I'm not going to go through all of Grant's stuff because maybe some of it should be pulled back. He goes on to say, now he looks like a 5-year veteran with a grown man's body. That's great news for the 49ers because they need Jackson to take a huge leap and start opposite Nick Bosa. So far, so good. Yeah. He's been working off-season hard, all season, off-season. He's been busting butt out there. It's starting to pay dividends. And guard Spencer Burford also looks like a completely different person than he did last year as a rookie. Last season, Burford had an impressive year for such a young player, but still looked lean and light, almost too light to play guard in the NFL. Now he looks much bigger and stronger, which means the weakest link on the offensive line from a year ago could now be a strength. Yeah! Running back Christian McCaffrey. He showed up to a voluntary practice and made practice as hard as he could. I mean, yeah, Christian McCaffrey, fam. Christian McCaffrey's going to shift the culture to the next level. Because if I'm out there, he ain't embarrassing me. If Christian McCaffrey's out there just doing things and you're not keeping up, coach can see you. See, that's what that kind of thing does. Coaches see, hey, we're to hustle, Chris. Where the hell's going? Let's go, Chris. Let's go, babe. And then they're going to be, hey, Ronbo, pick it up. You here to work out or what? You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. McCaffrey cleared is in midseason shape and an emerging like the leader on this team already. And you got nickelback Isaiah Oliver broke up a well-thrown pass from Trey Lance that was intended for Chris Conley. Oliver had outstanding coverage and used his extremely long arms to poke away the ball at the last second. Oh, yeah. Quarterback Darrell Luter Jr. broke up an underthrown pass from Sam Darnold that was intended for Danny Gray. Luter was playing press man coverage, too. Gray beat him off the line of scrimmage and initially had a step on Luter, like most people most likely will, trying to keep up with Danny Gray. But Luter didn't panic. No, he recovered and knocked away the pass before it hit Gray's hands. Keep in mind, though, Darnold should have put a little more length on that pass. Otherwise, maybe it wouldn't have been made possible. So we'll see about how this develops going into further into the offseason. Tight end Braden Willis made the catch of the day. A sprawling left-hand catch on a pass over the middle from Darnold. If Willis had made this catch, the pass might have gotten INT'd. All right? These are the kind of guys I've always said. George Kittle's like that. But you want guys, go after the friggin' ball. Don't stand there and act like you can't move. Go after it. We got that kind of guy. We got another guy like that, too. Wide receiver Ronnie Bell. He dude became everyone's favorite target, caught a team-high 6 catches, and a few of them were heavily contested. Bell has zero fear and extremely quick and tough. Music to my ears. And also wide receiver Chris Conley caught 3 passes in the 49ers starting split end in place of Brandon Ayuk, who showed up to practice but sat out with a muscle tightness. And then there was guard Nick Zakelj. Hey, I bet it's Zakelj. I see what the J is now. Played left guard with a second-team offense, while John Feliciano played right guard and Matt Pryor played right tackle. Defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw. Yeah. Grant's observation on Mrs. Kinlaw's baby boy. It went like this. Looked lean, mean, and completely healthy for the first time in a long time. Didn't appear to have any limitations. The not so good. I'm not going to go through all of Grant's not so goods because Grant can be really vicious. One thing I did notice, though, I said to myself, that really is not good. Kicker Jake Moody missed a 48-yard field goal wide left. If you're inside the 50-yard line, I want that, Jake. Relax. Don't be nervous. Zane Gonzalez also missed a 48-yard field goal wide left. Maybe the wind was blowing? Can you give kickers excuses, I guess? Not a good start to 49ers kicker competition. Okay, that'll get better. It's first day. See, this is why you can't pass judgments too soon. There's going to be mistakes. George Kittle made a mistake. You got to account for the fact that he just came out there. There's no need for expecting perfection right off the top. So, God, yes. Hey, Phil, chill. Phil, come on in, Phil.
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 Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Well, Phil,
and yes, it was windy today.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about 3 miles from the stadium, so it was gusty at my house. So, pretty windy. So whatever.
Yeah, I said a big deal.
It's early.
Yeah.
We'll see how he does in the games. That's when it counts.
Yeah, because we're gonna get those windy days and conditions during the season as well. And you got to learn how to do that thing where who was that guy that used to come out an hour before the game and put his wet his finger and put it in the air and see which way the wind's going? Phil Dawson. Dawson knew exactly. He had it down to a science as to get ready and where to place the ball, where I want it done, which way to kick it to a little bit to the left or right. Dawson was amazing. Maybe we could get Dawson out there do a little coaching. I wonder what he's doing these days. But go ahead, Phil.
Well, you know what? Moody will learn.
Yeah.
They both will learn. You know what the field conditions are like, and the practice field is open compared to the stadium.
That's right. There's no break. That's just wide open space. That's true.
But Ronbo, this is the first day going for the 6th.
Going for the what? The 6th.
The 6th.
Oh, the 6th.
Lombardi.
Absolutely. Agreed. And it's time. Past time.
This is it. So we're going all the way.
We'll get it. We'll get it. We're too good, Phil. We've been too good to settle for those failures at the point that we failed. Just ridiculous. So we'll be fine.
Well, it's not the other team that beats us. It's injuries that beat us. So,
right.
We go through a season without injuries, we're winning the Super Bowl. That's it.
And probably in steamroll fashion. I mean, seriously. What if everybody was healthy for every time we played in FCCG or the Super Bowl? Man.
Yep. So, I mean, but I'd rather have that situation than a team that has gotten the luck of the charm.
Rams.
I mean, they're going to run out of luck
and
eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I think we're destined this year. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Especially when everybody talks us down. I love that. Keep it up.
Yeah. You know what? They're not.
But you know what?
You're not getting a lot of that, though, as usual. Normally they just slam the 49ers as an afterthought. But they starting to
You
keep
hear
up.
it subtly.
Yeah.
Like Chris Sims saying Brock Purdy's the 25th quarterback in the NFL. Come on, man.
So, Chris wasn't all that as a quarterback either, so he ought to be a little nicer about that.
That top button in his shirt too tight.
I mean,
and was smoking some ranky stuff.
I mean, he wears me out with that button at the top. That's Phil. Jesus, somebody just unbutton it, just break it off. So.
Well, because his head would explode if that happened. The blood would rush, and he would start thinking again. So I mean, but when he's with Florio, it's either dumb or dumber, and I can't tell which one's which.
Florio steamrolls him actually, which is pretty funny. And Florio's completely out of line all the time, but he works, Phil. I mean, Chris. I love it.
Ronbo, I think this year though the team is motivated. They really were pissed off after last season.
He should have been.
The way they're working out, Christian McCaffrey going all out. I was watching some of the videos of the practice. Kinlaw looked good. Drake Jackson looks huge. Drake Jackson looks like a different person almost.
God, I love it. He needed to.
And, hopefully he doesn't lose that athleticism. But, man, he's big. And, and the guys that you listed that weren't there, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, I mean, they don't need.
They really don't.
OTAs.
Yeah.
Their workout schedule is far above anything
at OTAs.
Even Chris Kaczmarek can make them do.
Yeah.
That guy, I was watching. He just goes nuts. He's like, hyper speed. Every drill.
I mean, I love watching him do that because he's going to set a new precedent. Anybody out there tail dragging should know. I know Christian's probably, if he doesn't come over and say something to you, George will. Somebody's going to say something. You're not going to be allowed to BS at this point in the season. This is the time you're supposed to bust ass. He's right.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty psyched. I'm going
to be okay.
Yeah, and our quarterback situation, Brock's gonna be there week 1.
You think? It sounds like
Yep.
it. Hell, we're just going into June.
I think he's gonna be there week 1.
Huh?
And I just keep comparing the stats of Brock Purdy over those 8 games and every other quarterback in the league, and I'm telling you, my comp for Brock Purdy is Patrick Mahomes.
That's where he was. And people still
And
don't want to say anything
everybody
nice.
goes, "Oh, that's blasphemy" or whatever. But I mean, they're both similar size. They both run the 40 relatively slow. They both have very quick 10-yard splits and have very good pocket presence and do these, weird-ass throws, sidearm, stuff like that. Yeah, Patrick has a stronger arm. That's for sure. But the numbers that Brock Purdy had compared to Patrick, those 8 games, it was equivalent, if not better in some cases.
So I don't need you to throw the ball through a brick wall. I just need you to put that ball where it's supposed to be and on time. That's
especially Kyle. But do you think Patrick doesn't get advancement for having Reed as his coach?
Absolutely.
I mean, so you almost have to have a good quarterback. You almost have to have a good offensive coach.
No doubt. Oh, absolutely.
Designing plays for you. So it goes hand in hand. Look at Montana and Walsh, Young and Walsh. I mean, you can go back to the early days, and every quarterback that's made the Hall of Fame usually has a pretty
legendary
good
coach.
Court.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that only makes sense, Phil. I mean, people think a quarterback, especially when he just came out of school, is supposed to come in and just do what he did at school. Well, hell, at school he had a good coach too. So you got to keep that up, right down through the ranks, pro or whatever.
Absolutely. So, I'm looking forward to Brock's second year. If he does like he did last year, yeah, I can't see us losing. Too many games, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, because the defense looks like it's going to be even more tougher than last year. Now, the 49ers are not going to need to score. People think
with Armstead for a full season, and then you've got Hargrave, and then you put in some of the guys we brought in. Yeah, we lost J.W. and Algier, but we've got guys to replace them that maybe even be better.
Can you imagine that?
And I think Wilkes is going to add another dimension to the defense.
The secondary. Because the front guys don't need to do work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our weakest spot in our defense is our corners. And they're not very weak, but they are the weakest part. And he's going to make them better.
Yeah.
So,
one question.
Ronbo, we only gave up 16 points a game last year.
Average,
I'm thinking 14. I'm thinking 14. And so you only need 2 touchdowns in a game to win.
I'm telling you.
And I think our offense, with all the weapons we have, is going to score 2 touchdowns. So
minimum. That's going to be a minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
So we're going to go. I'm going to be back. The next workout is 2.
We had 33 points a game.
Oh, I know. And they know each other better this year, too. And Brock's not a rookie now. That experience is going to add up to some more stuff.
Exactly, and the offensive line is not new either. They were new last year with Banks and Burford and Brendel, and now McKivitt's going to be a better pass blocker than McGlinchey. He's not going to be as good in the run, but he's a better pass blocker.
And Phil was high on McGlinchey as far as what he was doing. Phil, we got to stop though. I'll see you day after tomorrow. All right.
Okay. Well, this is the beginning of the 6th.
That's right. I like that. That should be on a T-shirt, actually. Night, Phil.
All right.
Hey, come on, Phil. You got caught slipping in Thailand. Talk about 6.
Jack's always sending people to Thailand. Jack, cut it out. Yeah, Jack, you probably know that phrase. Me love you long time.
Here's what I want to say. Ronbo, I've got an MBA, so I can get in Jack's face.
Where did you get your MBA at?
Guys,
From
this
Stanford.
Oh, there you go.
You got MBA from Stanford.
Jack,
And you
hold on.
just compared Brock Purdy to Patrick Mahomes.
Jack, listen,
You
hold that thought
an
right there.
MBA from
That's not exactly
Stanford,
what he
Jack.
said.
So I can get in your
You
face.
just compare Brock. You said they're comparable.
All right. Guys, we got to stop.
You know what?
Oh, it's Papa
Tell me
Dragon on
about
the phone. I thought that
Mahomes'
was Jack.
first year.
It's
Tell me
Pop.
about Mahomes' first year. What did he do?
Let me see. 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl
he didn't
MVPs.
even play.
Uh-oh.
He had one game.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes. So go
Patrick
look up your
Mahomes'
stats,
first year.
Jack.
I'm not looking up anything. I'm just
He
saying.
was a master's
How many
degree.
touchdowns did Patrick Mahomes throw his first year as a starter?
Excuse me? What was that?
How many
touchdowns
TDs did Patrick
Mahomes
throw in
throw
his first year as a starter?
season as a starter?
I can't hear you.
Let me tell him, Pop. But Phil, how many
Go ahead.
TDs did Patrick throw in his first year as a starter?
None.
No, as a
None.
starter.
As a starter.
None. He had one game.
No. Okay, when he started, it was the following season,
starter.
right? Yeah.
Right.
That's what he's talking about.
He had one game. What's his name was the starter for
No, Alex
Kansas
Smith.
City.
Phil.
Alex Smith.
Fast forward to
Phil,
the next
for the
season.
love of God, Phil, whatever you do, don't go on Twitter and make that comparison with Patrick Mahomes. Don't do it. Don't.
But Pop,
Phil.
you know what? In a certain context,
Please.
you actually could this past season. Only the stats
I bet
read it
you know
out.
what?
Oh,
These
my
same
God.
guys would have thrown Tom Brady to the wolves
Jesus.
when he
Christ.
replaced Drew Bledsoe. Jesus.
Stats don't win championships.
No, but that's what he was
Look, I think
alluding to.
If you take any let me take somebody who we like to make fun of. Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott was a quarterback of San Francisco 49ers, how far do you think we'd go?
Dak Prescott as quarterback for the 49ers?
If he was a quarterback for the 49ers, how far do you think
He
this
wouldn't
team
be
would go?
lasting long because he throws too many interceptions. And Kyle does
against
not like
who?
interceptions.
I understand.
All right?
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But how far do you think the team will go?
You know
Here's
what?
the question.
Quarterbacking is 90% between the ears. And that's what you guys don't understand.
I understand that.
90% between. You know what?
I
Joe
understand
Montana
that
didn't have a great
completely.
arm. Joe
I
Montana
understand.
didn't have a great
It's
arm.
not about a great arm. It's not about all of that. What
It's about what's
it's about
between the
right
ears.
now is that we've looked at a player for 8 games, and you're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. Why don't you just let him play
I'm
before we make those
comparing him to
comparisons?
Patrick Mahomes at this stage in his career. All right?
No, it's
This
not
stage
at that
in his career,
stage.
after the first season, Brock Purdy had a better first year than Patrick Mahomes. Are you saying he didn't?
No, you're not. Listen, but you're distorting it. You're distorting it.
No, I'm
When
not.
when you say first year, then maybe you should look at the first 8 games. Maybe you can compare that. But even after Patrick was throwing all those
the
touchdowns
8 games
after the first 8
Let's
games,
compare the 8 games that Brock Purdy played.
no,
And
I'm
compare
not going to
the 8
compare
games
Patrick
at
Mahomes
the same time of the
to
season
Brock
last
Purdy.
year that Patrick Mahomes played. Brock Purdy.
Goddamn, Ronbo. Look what I started, Ronbo.
I know, Jack. I blame you.
Sunday night, live Papa Dragon against Chill Phil. Be there, Ronbo
No,
Sports
I'm
Live.
not against him. I'm just trying to understand the
Okay,
fanatical
let me ask you.
response
Let
to
me
Brock
ask you.
Purdy.
What was Patrick Mahomes' passer rating last year?
I don't care about Patrick Mahomes. I care about Brock Purdy. That's what you don't
Brock Purdy
understand.
had
I'm
a
not going to
117
compare.
passer rating.
I'm not going to compare
Patrick
Brock
Mahomes
Purdy
had a 111.
to Patrick Mahomes. And the reason why I'm not going to compare that is because Patrick Mahomes in his career is so far ahead of him.
Well, let's talk about. I mean, career is one thing.
The man's got
If
2
Brock Purdy
MVPs.
wins the Super Bowl next
He's got
year,
2
and the
Super
year
Bowl
after that,
rings.
the year after that, well then what?
And he's got 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
So what?
That is high level.
He's had more opportunity.
Quarterbacking.
He's had
And he
more
does not have the offensive weapons
I'm saying a comp
that Brock Purdy has.
Brock Purdy is Patrick Mahomes.
You know what? And that's your prerogative.
Round one goes to Papa
That's
Dragon.
your prerogative.
Sign up for
All I'm
Ronbo
saying
Sports
is
Box Office
Don't tweet it.
for round two.
Don't
I knew that
keep
they
that to
didn't
yourself.
shit, but you guys just don't look at
Keep
the
that
stats.
to yourself. Well, look, I think before you do our comparisons, people have to play. He's only played 8 games.
So what? So
He's only played 8
Jalen
games.
Hurts wasn't that good.
And the
until
last 2 games,
after
you know
3
what?
years,
You know
last
what?
year he was okay.
Let me say this. People wrote off Josh Allen. People wrote off Jalen Hurts, right? They write them off.
They did.
Now
And
based on
you're
that,
writing up
they should
Brock
be out of the
Purdy.
league. I'm not writing them off. I said give the kid time.
No
Don't put all
shit.
this pressure on him. You're
No
comparing
shit.
him to an all-time great quarterback.
But you're the
And
guys
he's
that
not-
say,
he's not played
you know, the
games.
Niners have to win now.
They have to win now, but if they are really serious about winning now, do you really think
Absolutely.
that their number one plan is, okay, we got a kid who's started 8 games, he's going to take us to the Super Bowl, coming off of an elbow injury?
Tom Brady only played 4 games.
There you go. You're comparing him to Tom Brady now.
Super Bowl. And
You're
what?
comparing him to Tom Brady now.
But Pop, I mean, but
Tom Brady
but
was
Papa
out
Dragon,
in the 6th round.
If
Papa
Jared
Dragon,
Goff-
it is relevant
if Jared
though.
Goff- if Jared Goff right now, if
I'm
Jared
saying
Goff
it
right
can
now
happen.
was on his
And
team,
you guys dismiss it like it's freaking.
I'm not dismissing it. What he did
Yes,
was
you
amazing. I am a Brock Purdy fan. What he did was amazing. What I'm not doing is I'm not going to compare Brock Purdy to Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let him play. He can prove it to me. He can show me and show the world that he's next Patrick
But you know
Mahomes.
what? He's going to have the chance.
But I know he's not. Look at the passing chart. You can see it on the passing chart he's not Patrick Mahomes. What he has is great talent. His strengths are very simple. Between the ears.
I'm just doing
He's
the
great
comp.
between the ears.
I'm just doing
Like
the comp.
you said,
I'm saying
he is.
Patrick Mahomes
that
is
comp is
6'2",
ridiculous,
225.
man.
Brock
That comp
Purdy's
is
6'1",
ridiculous,
220. They both had a.
Oh
very
my
good
God,
test.
Brock Purdy is 6 foot and 3.
No, he's
1/8
6'1",
of an inch.
dude. He's 6'1".
No,
Look
that's
it
what
up.
he said. How tall is Steve
That's
Young?
what the combine numbers were. 6'1",
You know,
220.
listen, no, go look at it again. It says 6 foot 3 inches, 3/8 of an inch.
No, you're wrong.
Go look again. Go look again.
Just look at the NFL.com for the comps. For the
How tall is Steve
combine
Young?
numbers.
How tall is Steve Young? Answer that question. Is Steve Young 6'2"?
I don't know what Steve Young is.
Yeah.
I just looked up Brock Purdy just not too long ago.
You can look him up all you want. You can look him up all you want.
All right.
Okay, but I'm telling you, the combine sheet says 6 foot 3/8 inches. 3/8 of an inch.
Steve Young was 6'3".
And you know what? It doesn't matter, though. This is why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because at this particular point, I still have yet to be proven wrong. I say he's small.
Now you're sounding like Jack.
He's got
Not
hurt.
proven right either.
He's got hurt. Well, I
Haven't
have
been proven
receipts
right.
that basically say, look, he throws the ball late sometimes. He's small. He's going to
So
get
do
hurt.
all rookies,
And
dude.
he got hurt.
So do all
And he got
rookies.
hurt. And he got hurt.
You know what,
Blue
guys?
play. Give me a break.
Let's
good
call
comp.
it. Let's call it a draw.
Here's my comp.
Fellas.
Ready for my comp? My comp
All
for
right,
Brock
Ronbo.
Purdy is Tua.
All right.
Is Tua.
Phil-
Tua from the Dolphins. That's your comp.
Nice night. Bob, you know, here's the thing. I don't think there's a full comparison to Patrick Mahomes. I think he was just talking about some of the stats as they related across the board. And actually, when they came into that NFC CG game, they were actually, Jalen Hurts and Brock were actually neck and neck. So, I know what you're saying, though. Let us not go too far with the comparisons to people who've already established themselves.
Let
at
him
the upper
play.
echelon.
He's only played 8 games.
Yeah.
He's been hurt twice. the ribs,
He hasn't been hurt
the elbow.
twice. He's been hurt once.
The ribs and the elbow.
Oh, stop
He's
it.
been
He
hurt
played
twice.
in Seattle with the ribs, and
Yeah,
every guy.
Well, you're still hurt. Injury and hurt is two different
won the
things. Are you
game.
injured or are you hurt? Look,
Phil,
he was hurt.
Phil, can I ask you?
Played.
Can I? Because we're going to run out of time here. So Phil, we'll see you day after tomorrow, and
All right,
Pop,
Ronbo.
give me a couple of minutes here, Pop, because we burned a lot of time here. But Pop,
All right, chill pill, Phil.
All right.
no hard feelings. Shake hands, guys, and return to your corners.
I have
All right.
no hard feelings,
No,
Shabby.
I want the Niners to win, and I want Brock Purdy to do well, and I think he's going to.
And I agree with you. But there's no guarantee he's going to start. You
Well,
think
then
Shanahan's absolutely 100% loyal to Brock Purdy?
Well, then there's
You think that?
I'm pretty sure he's going to start.
well,
when they
yeah.
throw
Shanahan is loyal to one person. That's
Shanahan.
Shanahan.
Compared to what we saw last year, I don't know. I was at every game. I saw it.
You know what? I know you saw it. I saw it too, right? And if he had got through that game and he was 100% healthy, there's no question who the starter is, because that's the track record of the 49ers. Whoever's in an NFC Championship game is going to start the next season. That's typically the situation for the 49ers. So, yeah, I expected him to start as well. But the reality is that, unfortunately, he does have some limitations, and we're going to see how that plays out this year.
All right, Phil.
And he's coming off elbow injury.
All right, guys, listen. Pop, I do have one question on that though. Do you think that Brock's already reached his ceiling? Because when you talk about Brock,
No.
you do speak
Hell
as if,
no.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because
No,
okay.
no, he has not reached his ceiling. He has not reached his ceiling. He has not. Now, he doesn't have all the God-given traits that you want in an NFL quarterback, but he has not reached the ceiling, both mentally and physically. The downside is that how much can you improve when you're rehabbing? And that's a question you want to ask a quarterback like Andrew
his
Luck.
arm gets stronger during the rehab. There have been cases where they've had the surgery and people have gotten their arms stronger. Many baseball players have.
Of course there is, Dr. Chill Pill Phil, but everyone's different. We have to see it.
No
we need to
shit.
see what's going to happen when the
But
defense
he's ahead of schedule
take
right
away
now.
this
He's gonna
thing.
throw it next week.
No, we don't know that. And how much is
Cut
he
it
gonna
out.
throw?
Detroit versus everybody.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying, we'll see what happens. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm keeping my mind open. It
guys,
could be Brock Purdy.
okay.
It could be
Because
Lance.
you know what we need to
It
do.
could be Dalton.
We need to
I don't
set this
care.
up for its own show. Guys, I got to say bye to both of you. Since we're
right,
out of
Rob.
time.
All right.
Let's try it again
All right,
the day after tomorrow, okay, guys? All right, Phil, Bob,
yeah.
have a great night. Keep that energy. I love it.
You guys have a good night.
Thanks, Bob.
Patrick Mahomes. Jesus Christ.
we are passionate about our team, aren't we? hey, yo, Rodney.
Mother of God.
Okay. Good night, Bob. Give my best to the Dragon Clan. Night, Phil. Rodney says, which Impact player are you most excited to see, and which rookie or second-year player do you think will make an impact on offense and defense? And honestly, when I think about that, the biggest impact player we have, and there's about three. You got Christian McCaffrey, of course, and Nick Bosa. Debo, I really think Debo's going to reach the next level due to the fact that now Debo has to finally come to the realization, look around, I'm not the complete savior of this club no more. I'm going to have to up my game. Between those three guys, George Kittle's going to be George Kittle. He never takes his foot off the gas anyway. I got nothing to say about George. On defense, Javon Kinlaw's not an impact player just yet, but he could be. We'll see. Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, how much better can they get? That would be frightening. Travarius Ward, I want to see what he can do if he can get any better. He's already good, Rodney. Second-year players. Demo. I'm a huge fan of Demo. I'm going to be the guy that's rooting for when everybody else saying, we got to do something about Demo. I'm going to stay with you, Demo. I know you can do it, baby boy. Michael, come on in.
Hey, Ronbo. How's your night going, Ronbo?
Oh, Michael, doing great. We just had We just had that one-on-one battle between. They've been
Oh,
trying to
I
get each
gotta
other
see
for a
them
long
go.
time.
You know what?
Between
Here's
Pop.
from Monday Night Raw, guys. You want to go Monday Night Raw? You guys can go in the ring and fight it out. Ronbo could be the special referee.
I try to moderate. No ref. Just no holds barred. They can go.
No ref, right?
Yeah.
Big fight going on Monday Night Raw. Main event.
But the thing is, it's hard to make a when you exchange names, you start throwing names around, and you say Patrick Mahomes in a sentence, and you put another quarterback's name in a
Mahomes
sentence.
on a different level.
Yeah, but
right
see,
next
that's
to
not
Brady,
what it was
I think.
about, and I think that was where the misunderstanding started. You just put him on that level last year, stats-wise. He's not my Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't been in
Purdy,
the league
it's going
long
to
enough.
take a long time for Purdy to get up to Mahomes and Brady. It's going to take years. It's not right away. Yeah, 8-game winning streak. Yeah, that's nothing.
It took them years to get where they are.
But it's going to take, yeah, it's good for us, but it's going to take a lot of years. He's got to prove the win. He won one playoff game, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got to win 16 games, 17 games, win playoffs, and go Super Bowl. Then that's one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you got to bring that Lombardi home to get the notoriety that a Mahomes or a Brady gets,
or Brady, or
anybody else. So
or any other quarterbacks back then too, like Trey Aikman, Steve Young, Montana, and all them. Yeah.
Let's not even go that direction. We got to wait. Because remember, C.J. Beathard was deemed to be the next Montana when he came in, and I even knew that was wrong back then. I said, guys, come on now.
No.
You've got no proof of that, no evidence, nothing.
Nope.
Stop.
Nothing. There's nobody,
Yeah. So,
but I was watching a little bit of the OTA today. I was watching Trey Lance throwing pretty good today. I saw that.
Yeah. Form has changed.
He looks good. No, he looks good since he's been practicing with Mahomes. He looks pretty decent and good. And I'm hoping, like I said, I think the 49ers, they're smart. Let Purdy rest for the year. I mean, you know what? I'm afraid you put him in, what's going to happen? He gets hit on that arm, what's going to happen?
Ooh.
You got to think of a guy like that, facing tough defenses in the league. And what happens if he lands on it again?
Yeah, you know what? I wonder how fragile that arm is. After
I mean, you look at it, yeah. You got to think of that.
Yeah.
What happens if you put him in right away and he gets hurt? Oops.
I tell you what, Michael, you play quarterback. If you got Purdy's eyes are going to be all over the place when that ball gets snapped. If he feels anything coming to his left or right, he's bailing, or he's going to get out of the way, or he's going to take care of himself. And Michael, all he had to do was step up in the pocket, and even that wouldn't have happened. But again, that's rookie, and that's experience.
Rookie mistake, but we learn from that mistake. All rookies got to make a couple mistakes, and then you got to learn from that mistake.
That would have bought him just enough time. Step up in the pocket. There's nothing in front of you, Brock. Step up and make that throw. You help your offensive line a little bit, or whoever's protecting. He didn't think about that. All he saw was, oh, my God, Ayuk's wide open. Let me go. And boom.
And then a freight train hits him, and boom. On both sides.
So bad. So sad.
I mean, like I said, I think the best thing to do is let Purdy rest. I mean, I don't like to rush no guy like that because I'm afraid you rush something like that, what's going to happen? We're playing against a tough schedule this year, and we've got to look at it. You put him in with some of these good defenses, I'm afraid.
Well, the doctors are going to, let him know if he's okay to go out there. Good defenses. Our offensive line could be a little better this year, and I guarantee there'll be no tight end that misses the block this year. You watch it say, I'll be no tight end. Because now Kyle's giving you that death look. You miss an assignment.
Yes.
You might as well look for a way home. So,
Yes. And like I said, I think this might be Debo's year. Yeah, it's got to be Debo's year because he knows if he doesn't, what's going to happen.
True.
He's got to show the team that, he's been with them for a long time, and time for him to shine and break out. Be the next
get hurt
Jerry
on
Rice, maybe John Taylor.
Ayuk's looking to get paid next year, too. What are you going to do? See, we've been making jokes about this, but it's a reality.
Nope. I think I get ready to get I get the paychecks ready for Ayuk. I get that check ready. I would get a head start on that because if you don't, what's going to happen? Other teams could hide bid us. Like the Giants, you got to think of that. Teams are going to they're going to have a lot of money in their banks, and that's what they're going to look for.
Yeah, they need a primetime receiver. In fact, they were actually one of the teams that people projected
Giants, yeah.
to be making a deal for Ayuk had they been putting Ayuk on the market. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Giants would have been the number one. And I heard today, Aaron Rodgers got hurt today in practice.
What? I didn't hear about that.
He got hurt. Yeah.
How bad?
Mm-hmm. He was pulling the sled and his ankle, something with his ankle. Something. You got to read it. Yep. I just found that from one of my friends today.
Wait, Michael. Did you say he was pulling the sled?
Like a sled like they do at the practice. Yes. Like the weight. Yes.
Oh, well, I guess he was trying to build up his stamina. I said, why?
Yeah, but look, he's 39 years old. I mean, look at his body's probably like, you know what I mean?
Fragile. You know, as compared to 5 years ago.
5 years ago, or some of these young guys out there, like these rookies, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt. Now they got to find out how long he's going to be out for.
And this is very needed time. He's got to get acclimated to the system. He's got to get used to the guys that we're going to play with. And now he's going to be out. Nobody thought about that when they made this deal. And Green Bay said there, hey, guys, we made the right move.
Hey,
all right. The whole room clapping. You know how evil people can be.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, it was, actually good. Let him be out for the year. I would love to see that happen. A curse.
The Seahawks lost somebody today as well. A cornerback. Who's their best cornerback? If it's that guy with the blazing speed, I wonder how serious it is. Yeah, we'll find out.
We got to look up which team, the Jets?
No, the Hawks. You know, the Hawks.
We got to look that up on the website.
Yeah, a cornerback got hurt.
We got to look at the web.
We're you know what though?
Hey, it's all right. Let them get hurt.
No. Don't wish that, because you know what? We need to get through our camp too, because every year somebody gets hurt in camp. Mm-hmm. You know, please, can we please make it through camp healthy? At least 95%.
Now, what's going on with the Niners? Now, what's going on with the 49ers looking at the guy from Baltimore or Pittsburgh? Remember, they're looking at some guy from Baltimore, the 49ers. Out of the corner or safety. You know, he's supposed to be pretty good.
This I've not heard of. Because at this point,
49ers,
at this point, the
49ers guy from Baltimore.
Yeah, but how many guys the 49ers have in camp? I don't know that they can actually be going after anybody else, can they?
Hey, I like the new rules too. You could have a third-string quarterback, so that's good.
Yeah. You know,
I'm glad. Brings back the old school, 49ers having 3 quarterbacks.
And it doesn't count against your roster count, so that's what's really good.
Nope. That's good. So that means you get 2. You take a 3 right now. So if one gets hurt, you could take another one and find another one. There you go. Doesn't count.
And keep them standing by. I wonder if that means you can activate them during the game.
So, Ronbo, I wonder, that's a good question. If you have 3 quarterbacks in your starting roster, can you keep one in your practice squad as you know what I mean? A cushion? So if one guy gets hurt, you could, you know what I mean?
No, you can't put him on the practice squad because if you do that, he doesn't count on the 53 anyway. Because if you put him on the practice squad, he can be picked off.
Yeah, but for the guy that you figure is not going to get picked up, you know what I mean? There's a guy that, if he does, well, you're taking a chance.
No, Michael, I think it's the guy. The third guy's he's on standby.
Standby.
Yeah, because if you do need a third quarterback like the 49ers did, if he can't come until the next game, it's too late. If we had a third quarterback in this NFC-CG, he would have been activated immediately as Brock left the game, because that's 2, and we're down to our extra quarterback if we need, and he's now officially able to come in.
Come in from Right now we got 3 plus we got the other 2 quarterbacks, but they're not going to stay long too. Man, they got from the XFL and Allen. I don't think they're going to stay.
Thorson.
They're probably going to practice with us, and that's it.
Yeah, they're camp fodder. Yeah, the 3 we got the 3 guys already before they showed up.
The 3 amigos. Yes.
Yeah, Darnold, Lance, and Purdy.
Yeah. But I think I give Purdy. I think I let Purdy relax for a couple. Like give him. I mean, not the whole season. See how he does week by week. Don't rush him. Just let him. You know what I mean? I wouldn't rush a guy like that. I'd be afraid. I'm a little afraid with that. Because how's his arm going to look after that? Some quarterbacks' arms are different after the surgery. Some are good. Some are just like bad. You know, there's some quarterbacks that you know what I mean.
And keep in mind, this is not the Tommy John surgery. This is the alternate.
No.
So it may be different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be different. Well, I can't tell. We don't, none of us had it, but yeah.
Yeah, the experience they've
time will
had, the
tell.
doctors have had, they could pretty much educated guess as to what it's going to be like. So we're going to find out soon, Mike.
Yeah.
Tell you what, hey, Mike, I want to
That's
see you
it.
day after tomorrow, after the next session of
That's right.
OTAs.
Through prime time, yep. All right, Ronbo. All right, 49ers, the Empire. Have a good night, everybody.
You too, Michael. Night. Hey, yo, Jalen. Jay.
Relevant Rams, y'all. Seahawks haven't won the ring in 10 years. I know that can't be fun. What's up, Ronbo? What's up, Michael? What's the word, man?
And we're just looking at the OTAs today and checking out a couple of names stood out, had a good day, and Chris McCaffrey's out there trying to show people how you're supposed to work out, which I thought was funny because we ain't never had no player that came in and everybody was spotlighting from day one of OTAs. Because, they be blasé, laid back. So, TAs, man, they got to work hard today. We got plenty of that coming up. No. Chris McCaffrey says, no, we working today, right? So I'm laughing because Chris McCaffrey said, if you're laying back, get up. I love it. But otherwise,
Christian McCaffrey is one of
a kind.
Kyle Shanahan. If Kyle Shanahan is good at one thing, Ronbo, he can recruit vets. He might not be the best at developing, but that move to get Emmanuel Sanders, that was a good move.
Yeah.
The move for D4, even though he didn't last long, for that 1 year, it was a good move. And even with this move with McCaffrey, it was a good move. So Kyle Shanahan makes good moves when it comes to finding veteran pieces to plug into the offense.
Yeah.
Hands down, no thinking about it. I got to give him that. But development, Ronbo.
He should have drafted him in the first place instead of Solomon Thomas. They went to the same school and they
hell yeah,
at the same time. I said, I want Chris McCaffrey. People like, Ronbo, man, you can't draft a running back in the first round. I said, you know what? I don't care. Christian McCaffrey, I've seen some things about him, and that working. I saw some clips of him working out. This dude is crazy. I want him on my team. So I was right. I knew I was right. Would he be the same though if he would have got drafted by Shanahan? Maybe.
Man, Ronbo. Somebody in the chat said it tonight, and I couldn't have put it any better. Ronbo, the standard and the height that Brock Purdy has put the quarterback position on the 49ers, Ronbo, Trey, that if he doesn't come in and he doesn't play like a top 10, Ronbo, let's just be real. If we can sit up here and call other quarterbacks top 10 quarterbacks just off of half a seasons, it's some guys that'll be horrible first half of the season, and we'll turn around and call them top 10 quarterbacks in the second half, vice versa. Kyler Murray, he's a top 10 quarterback in the first half. Second half, he's awful. So, Ronbo, Brock Purdy played the equivalent of a second half of football. Am I crazy to say that he was playing like a top 10 quarterback?
I ain't going to argue with you. But, Jalen,
Ronbo,
if Trey
about Brock Purdy come in and do that, he's not going to – Ronbo, if Trey can't come in and do that, which it isn't his fault, Ronbo, the fans ain't going to want him.
I know.
I'm sorry.
And you know what? The boos, you know how fans are in this. They will boo, because Brock's already set a standard. Like you said, if you can't come in there and come in with guns blazing, we don't care about how much time you put in the league. We want you to kick ass. See, like you said, Brock's now set a level that if you can't reach that level, you're going to get booed.
Because, Ronbo, honestly, who do you think would need real more development in NFL, Ronbo? A third overall pick or the last pick in the draft? Honestly, who would you feel like actually needs the more help? I would think the guy that barely got drafted.
Yeah.
So
and
Ronbo, this isn't just some second round pick that came in and was good, Ronbo. Brock Purdy, that was a diamond in the rough, Ronbo. If he can do it, if he can make it, Ronbo, I'm not saying anybody can, but damn it, with his skill set, if he can make it this quickly, there's no reason Trey Lance couldn't show us a glimpse of something, Ronbo. We haven't even gotten a glimpse.
No, you're right, though, because Trey even said it today. He said, I'm watching Jimmy and Trey, and he absorbed everything. I'm looking for some of that to show. in this offseason. You know, because you can't stand there and watch all that and not learn a thing. Trey's a sharp individual. I got a feeling we're going to see something we're going to get surprised at. We're not going to see the same Trey we've been seeing. This Trey may light things up.
Ronbo, let me ask you a question. Do you think Trey Lance is a better athlete than Colin?
Who? Colin Kaepernick?
Colin. Yeah.
No.
Cap was a beast, man. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, no, he's not a better
no
athlete.
pun intended. No pun intended. No pun intended.
No, I agree.
I ain't gonna cap, but that boy Kaepernick, Ronbo, he could get up there.
No, Cap.
He could get up there.
Was crazy good athletically. I mean, when Cap put the ball down to run, you guys got one shot. If he breaks the line of scrimmage, good luck.
Man, Ronbo, like I see what Kyle tried to do, but he got to recognize his strengths and his weaknesses, Ronbo. One thing about being a head coach is you recognize your strengths and your weaknesses. Like Kyle, you're not a good offensive, like a developer. You're not good at developing quarterbacks, Ronbo. As good as Bill Belichick is, the man cannot draft to save his goddamn life. He can't. He cannot. He cannot.
But he turns them into good players.
I mean,
somehow.
yeah, but I mean, N'Keal Harry, I don't know about him. Sony Michel, I don't know about him.
I actually like N'Keal Harry coming out of Arizona. I thought he was going to be a badass. N'Keal Harry is
I did too. I
terrible.
did too. He went to the same school as Brandon. I did too.
Yeah.
He was actually ahead of Brandon, Ronbo. He was the number one before
Brandon was.
Yeah, he was the number one, and Brandon was
guy.
the two.
Yeah. I thought N'Keal Harry was
like
kick butt.
I mean, Ronbo, let's just be real. Brock Purdy, the standard was real easy when all you had to do was look better than Jimmy Garoppolo, Ronbo. I mean, that's as much as I love Jimmy Garoppolo, it isn't hard to, it wouldn't be hard to look better than him. You know what I'm saying? We just didn't know that Brock Purdy was going to come in and look like that.
Yeah. And
the
key point
that's
is
next level.
He was not a second, third, or fourth, or fifth round pick. He wasn't even a sixth round pick. They picked him up just before they got ready to turn the lights out in the draft.
Rombo. Like, I don't know if I can be merciful to the third pick in the draft when the last pick just came in and balled out, Rombo. There's no excuse for that. The last pick, I understand he had more experience in college. But Rombo, he's the last pick in the draft. He shouldn't even be in the league. He should be holding a clipboard.
How many scouts missed that? Is that really possible? Thousands of scouts all over America. And you missed that? How'd you not notice this? You couldn't see that potential? Because Brock Purdy is just a rookie. People don't understand. He's actually going to get better. This is what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, yeah. That's when that arm strength, that arm can get better, Rombo. And his legs, let's not act like his arm is what drew us to him. It wasn't that goddamn arm. It was what he was able to do with his legs, Rombo. We were all shocked at what Brock Purdy could do with his legs. Let's just be real.
You went to grab him as a defender, and he just give you a little waist and got out the way. I mean, his instincts, his reflexes.
He got that twitch, Rombo. That's something you can't teach, Rombo. I look at him when he moves around the pocket. I think of like Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, like the way he turns his body around.
Be careful. Don't throw names around. People will jump in
there. I'm not saying he can throw like Patrick Mahomes. I'm saying he runs like him behind the line.
Well, see, the thing is, those are the things that make up for a solid quarterback, and he still keeps his eyes downfield, and he makes an accurate shot to an open receiver. And that ain't.
And Rombo, Brock doesn't run a lot. As much as he runs, Rombo, he doesn't run beyond the line of scrimmage much.
He's looking around.
That's what I realized.
Escaping pressure.
He doesn't do it, and he can. He has the speed. He's shown that he has the speed to
he ran in
pick
for
up
a touchdown,
like 10 yards. Yeah. I mean, that first Bucs game, Rumbo, he did what we've never seen Jimmy Garoppolo do. He threw 2 deep outside touchdowns and ran it in. I've never seen Jimmy G do that in one game. Hell, I probably haven't even seen him do it in his career. 2 outside deep throws on the outside, and he ran it in, Rumbo. That Bucs game, Rumbo, that had me sold. Look at what the NFL was saying. Who is this guy? Mr. Irrelevant? Look at Brock Purdy. Nobody has ever said any of this stuff about Trey, Rumbo, not even a glimpse. Not even. I mean, it's sad. It's
Remember,
not
Trey only
fair to
had
some
1 year of
people, but
college football. You know, he
I
needs
understand that,
training, and
Ronbo.
Kyle wasn't giving it to him. You know, now he's giving it to him.
Who
But
did
it's late.
who did Brock? When did Brock have training, Ronbo?
Well, you know,
Did he
4
play with the
years.
ones?
No, he played with he was a scout team.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
See,
I'm talking
that's
about
what adds
with
to the
the
intrigue of
NFL
Brock
level.
Purdy. I can't wait to see what it looks like this year. Jalen, we got to roll. I'd see you the day after tomorrow. All right.
Man, Ronbo. At the end of the day, we still the kings of the West.
Damn right.
College need a 2-year rest.
Niners!
Gene D and Rudy can keep on crying because the 49ers gonna be the best. And don't forget, y'all, Nick Mullins, he beat the Raiders on national TV. It just wasn't some game that you could catch if you live in Santa Clara or LA. No. This was prime time, baby. Prime time means everybody in the world saw it. Millions of people. It was no different than Monday Night Raw, this Friday Night SmackDown. It was a Thursday night thracking. That's what it was called, a Thursday night thracking.
Raider fans, that's why y'all don't hang around anymore. You shame. I love it. Jalen, see you the day after tomorrow.
Man, Ronbo, let me get out of here, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Night, Jalen. There should be a photo set up in the whole building out in front with Mullins beating the Raiders. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo. Let me just wind this window up, brother. Make it a bit more quiet. How are you, mate?
Hey, Tony, doing great. You know, program started off with a bang tonight. Phil and Pop finally got a chance to get at each other. They've been doing it.
I just missed that.
Between calls. Phil will come in and say something. Pop will come in a few minutes later and dispute it. This time they got together at the same time. Anyway, blow for blow there for a minute. There's no knockouts. Decision would be close. Have to be come somewhere close to. Well, I don't know. We're not going to pass any judgment on that decision. But Tony, you know, we're looking at OTAs now, and actually Trey has done some things to look better. And
Trey's looking good.
Yeah, he's. We'll see what he looks like when the heat is on, 11 on 11. That's when it's going to really make a difference. But, you know, one thing, Phil, he did make a good point about, you know, it's not all about your athleticism and your ability to throw the football. A quarterback has to have a lot going on upstairs, and he's got to think quick, and he's got to make decisions. He's got to lead the team. He's got to the faith in him has to remain strong, or he'll lose the guys. There's so many things that going into be a quarterback. I don't know how they sleep at night. But
let's dissect. Let's dissect that what you said, Ronbo, because I studied Kyle Shanahan. So he was asked a question about the quarterbacks, and I wrote down everything he said word for word, and it sounded to me like he was under pressure. And he says timing and accuracy where the ball should go. These are not my words; these are his exact words.
I was watching.
Right? What play they have, and I'm thinking to myself, why wouldn't you give them the same play so you could see how they all play at the same play? Are you going to give Darnold easier plays and the other guy harder plays? What's the go there? All right, that's one. Who makes the consistent right play the most? Who makes the consistent right play the most? He's speaking English, Kyle, or what? Who plays the most realistically? What are we going to do? Play fucking, what do you call it, Madden or something? Who plays the most realistically that gives you the chance to win? And someone asked him, is Trey getting all the first team snaps? And he went, I think he differed from
you
today.
You clocked that
yesterday.
too, huh? It doesn't matter right now.
I'll leave it out. I'll make sure of it. So what are you trying to say, Kyle? You're going to make sure that Darnold gets first team reps as much as Trey Lance? He's not even there to look at him. See, otherwise he would have known that question. I mean, well, what kind of a coach are you? Well, you're not there to see him. You're going to take the advice from your whoever's the quarterback coach. What if the quarterback coach is biased and you pick the wrong one? And then I'm thinking, I don't know what to make of that. But I looked at Trey. Trey's throwing motion's good. He's slicked it up pretty good to me.
Footwork has
He got
improved.
11 of 15, which Isaiah Oliver broke one up on him, and Elijah Mitchell fumbled one or whatever.
Oh yeah,
but
Darnold, that wasn't his fault. Those are not his fault.
Darnold, that Shanahan's boyfriend, 6 of 12.
No,
and Darrell Luter Jr. He underthrew. He's supposed to have a cannon of an arm, and he underthrew Danny Gray on a 35-yard route.
Yeah,
and Darrell Luter Jr. broke it up.
It's one thing about not being in shape, but that arm is supposed to be natural power.
He's not starting out too good, is he?
Doesn't look like it. Not today's workout. But then you know what? It's like you got to be careful about making assessments today because he is out there struggling to figure out how things go. But those are just drills. So I'm a little confused by him saying, "Oh, I'm just out here just learning the playbook at the begin and off." And drills aren't part of the playbook. You do those in every camp.
Yeah, you can see the guy running. It's eyeballing him, right? And you throw it to him.
Yeah.
But
you got a defender out there,
35 yards when you're supposed to have a cannon of an arm. I mean, there's something wrong going on there. But, the other thing that worried me a little bit was when Shanahan said there's two different types of running quarterbacks. Ones that you have to design plays for, and others that have got like the sixth sense and just, run when there's a hole, when they see a hole. And I'm thinking to myself, you prick. You never even gave Trey the chance to play like that. Right? You never gave him a chance to say, all right, look, if you see a hole and if you like it or whatever, go for a run, right, buddy? No. Designed run plays for him. So to me, does that leave it open for him to wreck one of them so he can have his favourite one in by designing runs for one quarterback and not the other?
Hey, Tony, the bottom line is Kyle did not have him fully prepared to play his style of football. So that's why he didn't know what to do. He has had, this is what he does best. I'll let him run the ball. Well, Kyle, come on, seriously? He's not going to be able to run off them tackles like that. Think of something else if you can't think of anything else.
No. If he let him run the ball, I don't think Trey would have ran between the tackles, Ronbo. He would have ran off to the side,
at least,
rolled out to one side or to the other. He's not stupid to run between the tackles.
Well,
Shanahan made him run between the tackles.
And RPOs against the Hawks with that beast that they got standing over there. But, I still don't understand he gives the excuse that, he was actually supposed to hand the ball off to Debo. So, damn.
Yeah, on other positive notes, Javon Kinlaw was looking good. No limitations, everything, no nothing. I was proud. I was happy with that. And Drake Jackson looks swole.
Yes. That's exciting.
He's looking big. It is.
Now, Nick's got a counterpart on the other side. We're in Fat City. Oh, I can't wait.
Zakiel apparently is looking good. That guy's huge, man. 6'6", 300 and something pounds.
And he's got an attitude. That's what I really like about him.
Yeah.
Good. I like evil, angry, always ready to get pissed off offensive linemen. Yes.
But I can't remember who said it. If he starts Darnold over Trey Lance, that'll do me.
Yeah,
I think
Sam
Trey
didn't look good
start,
today, so,
Nah. I mean, if, what's his name didn't bobble the ball, so Trey's figures would have been much better. But Brock, I'm not going to discount what Brock Purdy did. I don't think anybody in the whole entire league, whether you're a 49er fan or you're a Cowboys fan, doesn't matter. No one's going to discount what he did. But he was hired as the third quarterback. Trey Lance was hired as a first, but got sabotaged. So I would like to see Kyle, no more designed run plays, mate. Just let him play quarterback. Start the kid. Let's see what he's got. Give him 3 or 4 games, and if no one's happy with him, so be it. Put Brock in there, all right, by game 5 or whatever. But I doubt that's going to happen. The kid's working hard. He's worked hard. You have to give him that chance.
Trey, yeah. No, and Trey sounds determined. He's going to be hard to beat. From what I saw today and heard, you know what? Trey's going to be in this competition because Sam...
He is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, Sam's not... we'll see if this progresses any further, but Sam's not a shoo-in like a lot of people thought because they didn't see what Trey looks like or the adjustments he's made. So...
Well, I was thinking maybe maybe Kyle wanted him, but
he did.
Maybe that was the least amount that he would take, and maybe they threw in a couple of carrots there and said, "Listen, man, you know what our team's like. There's no doubt you'll get a chance to play." They probably sugarcoated it a little bit and convinced him with a false promise.
But Tony,
he took the bait.
Well, you know what's really scary, Tony? If I had to make a bet, and I wouldn't want any 49er fan to catch me, if I walked to a casino in Vegas and they actually had in line is will all 3 quarterbacks survive on the season? Do you know if I want to make some money, Tony? It's just a given that our guys at quarterback are going to get hurt. Debo's going to get hurt. Fred's not going to play an entire season. I mean, not Fred, but George isn't going to play the whole entire season. We have to come to understand that's just what's going to happen. But can we get past it until they get back on the field? Hopefully it's not more than a couple of weeks at the most. But they're going down. Matter of fact, I apologize. I don't mean any negativity. I do mean that after the last few years, I'm snake bitten. The poison is still rolling through my body.
Ronbo, when you play chess, all right, chess is very similar to NFL. When you play chess, what do? You protect the king, don't you?
You would think. But Tony...
Okay, the rest of the people go into battle to protect the king. Well, the quarterback is the king, all right, in the NFL, and you need to protect your king, mate. That's what the O-line's for.
At all costs. Tony, we got to pull up, though, because I got to pull up out of here a little bit. But listen, I'll see you the day after tomorrow. Let's see what develops in OTAs and more media madness. All right?
No worries, brother.
Tony's out on the road again. Be careful out there, Tony. We don't want to miss you. All right.
No worries, brother. All right, shout out to the squad, everybody, and I'll see you in the next chapter.
Thanks, Tony. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Here he goes. Well, it's a big show.
This is the first time I've ever had to do this, and that's correct, Tony. I think he had said Darnold was like 6-12. He was actually not. He was 11 for 15 today in minicamp. So
or was it 12? Oh yeah, Trey was 12 for. They had the same number of misses, from what I remember.
Trey was 12 for 16. Darnold was 11 for 15.
15, yeah. So they had an equal day.
Pretty much, and they're on equal footing right now. And I think we can all agree that Shanahan is not loyal to any quarterback in this quarterback room.
You
and
agree with Tony on that?
That's why
who said that Shanahan's loyal to Shanahan? That's true.
Papa Dragons.
Yeah.
And this is the truth. And he hasn't really named Brock Purdy starter week 1. They carefully craft their words, and they said he is the leader in the clubhouse right now. And that pretty much distanced themselves from being loyal to one player.
Yep.
Yeah. Shanahan's bottom line, Shanahan's going to go with a guy who he feels is going to help this team win.
He kind of explained that in that long diatribe he went through when he started explaining about timing, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that gives you the best chance to win. Bottom line, right?
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to tell you. He hasn't made up
And
his
JJ,
mind.
stop calling me.
I see him in here. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And if I were a betting man, which I am not, I would put my money on Sam Darnold. I really would, because he just has this fascination with him since he came out of college in 2018, and they signed him right away in the off season, which says a lot. They could have gone elsewhere on the veteran route as far as quarterbacks goes. They could have brought in Matt Ryan. They could have brought in somebody who he was familiar with in Atlanta. But they chose to go with a 25-year-old kid who I think Shanahan believes that he can resurrect his career and revive his career because he hasn't had the chance to succeed with the other teams he's been on. I know Emilio hates him with his passion, but he's got to realize the circumstances and understand
you got that right, boy.
The issues that the issues that he's had with the two teams that he's been on. Unstable coaching situations, 5 different offensive coordinators, no weapons, no offensive line around him. USC ghosts too. Those they were ranked at the bottom of the barrel as far as pass protection goes.
Did he get injured on one of them sacks? I mean, they busted him up. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody deserves to be fired if Sam Darnold was to start. Whereas I believe he would do well and thrive in this system because he hasn't had the talent like we have on the 2 teams that he has been on. He hasn't had the offensive line that we have on the 2 teams that he has been on. He's only had Christian McCaffrey for a few games, and he was hurt a majority of the time in Carolina, and he's been fully healthy since he's been with us, Christian McCaffrey. So imagine a fully healthy Christian McCaffrey under the second year of Shanahan's system, and the rest of the season will write itself with that. You know what I mean? Like,
so
I wouldn't write out Sam Darnold.
One quick question though. So who did Sam Darnold? Who left USC? Darnold had a premier wide receiver. What's his name?
I can't remember honestly. I have to go back and look.
Yeah,
but if people go back and watch Penn State, if people go back and watch the Rose Bowl, Penn State versus USC, they'll see why that just Sam Darnold was drafted 3rd overall. Go back and relook at him again before you call and write him off and say he's garbage, which he is not. Those interceptions some of them were his fault, but again, those receivers never had time to develop routes. They were running wrong routes all the time. Their running backs were not that great, and their offensive line was, like I said, garbage. And so don't write this kid off yet. I mean, Shanahan brought him on for a reason. Juju Smith-Schuster, there you go.
Sam was with him, and he had another one too.
And Steve Smith, I don't know if you heard Steve Smith earlier comments this morning on Good Morning Football, but he pretty much gave a really harsh and shrewd assessment of Trey Lance. He said that this is the Hall of Famer speaking. He said that he can turn off film for 5 minutes and tell whether a guy or not can turn your franchise around or not. And he pretty much said that Trey can't do it. you know what I mean? Like, that's coming from a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Who
Steve Smith Sr.
Steve Smith
Sr. I mean, that's you're not going to give the keys to somebody who hasn't played football in 3 years and expect him to come in and light up the league and win every single game for you this year. And we have a tough grueling schedule, a tough traveling schedule, and you're expecting a kid who hasn't played football since 2019, a full season since 2019, and only played a handful of games to come in and win us a bunch of games. No.
Well, I look at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy doesn't have any time. Brock Purdy's that miracle person that comes along all of a sudden. I'm not going to compare him with any guys that have already established themselves in the NFL. But what I do know is, from what I'm saying, is he did an awful lot for a kid that was on the practice squad or the scout team, and just comes in the NFL into a hell kitchen, right? And doesn't fold, doesn't panic. And that's why I'm saying I'm looking forward to seeing what he looks like later.
Shout out to JJ. I am too, but I would rather, quite honestly, rest him for the rest of the year. Just not rush him back in.
You're crazy.
Right away, because that's a scary surgery.
I bet it is.
On your throwing arm.
And, well, you know what? He hasn't been. It's not promised. He's got to throw the ball, and then they're going to make a judgment after that.
And
it's not guaranteed.
He's throwing with a towel right now. He's got a lot of ground to make up already.
And this is May, at the end of May. So yeah.
Yes, and there's no guarantee he starts week 1. But I was on another note, I was excited to read about Brayden Willis and Cameron Latu. They said those two dudes were looking like NFL players already in their stature and their height and everything like that.
Oh, I thought you meant in today's workout.
Yeah, in today's workout, yeah. They said they look like they're NFL player ready.
Yeah, I saw Brayden Willis was out there stretching out, making great catches. Also, Ronnie Bell was just out of control today. So
yeah, I'm excited about him too, Ronnie Bell. I have a really good feeling he's going to make the 53 and be the 6th receiver. And Isaiah.
JJ! Good.
It makes me lose my thought every time.
You're killing show.
I know. I'm like I'm on a cloud right now. But yeah,
Joe doesn't like any of our quarterbacks.
Not true. But yeah, I was really excited to hear about Ronnie Bell doing really well today, and Brayden Willis as well. And so, because Brayden Willis was drafted in the 7th round too, like a lot like Brock Purdy. I think he's going to be our Brock Purdy this year.
Where do we do our best work, or Jawan Jennings? Where do we do our best work?
Oh, exactly.
After the 5th round, it's insane.
Yeah. So, all right. Shout out to the whole fam, and I'm ready for. This is the closest thing we have to football right now. So I'm excited.
As weeks go by, it's going to get more intense because what we're talking about now with the quarterback competition, pretty soon it's going to turn into an all-out royal. I mean, it's going to be a fight. Because now the reporters are going to go out and there's going to be biased opinions and stuff like that. So we're going to see.
Starting next month, preseason will be 3 months away.
Yes, indeed.
And they'll be here quick.
Preseason game, August 21, I think.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame game, too, don't forget.
Yeah.
Which is like early August. So.
Yeah, so.
Yep.
All
right, shout out to the whole entire fam, and y'all take care and have a great night.
All right, you too, fam.
By the way, KC Brunskill's a bum. All right, take care.
Night show. Tell TC.
Ronbo.
TC. Well, TC.
Ronbo.
Yeah, I hear you. Come on in.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm tapped in a little bit, man. I disagree with Show.
Okay.
I disagree, man. Lance is about to shine. Everybody want to keep writing this kid off, man. We got to see if this dude's a bust or not. Let's see. I'll be the first one to say, if he fall on his face, hey, man, we got to get him out of here, and Brock is the guy. But I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to do that until we see this kid play.
All right.
Training camp just kicked open, and the kid is out here shining.
Yep.
Like I told you from the jump, he finna grab the bull by the horns and not look back. And if he fall on his face, that's on him. But I guarantee, Ronbo, this kid ain't looking back. I promise you. Everybody, I ain't heard nobody say how giddy Shanahan was up there lying and moving like he was on something. Because you know why? Because he's happy. Because I know, but now listen. But he was happy. He was hiding smiles back because he was happy how Trey Lance came to camp, and he said, "You know what? He's the guy now." They happy around that camp, man. This dude came in and worked out with Christensen. He came out, finally find out, like, hey, you know what? He's the guy. I don't want to get too much into the logistics and all that. Even when Brock was up there talking, Brock was like he was spooked. Brock was like, damn, Trey finna come back and take this. I don't care what he was saying. I be looking at body language and different things, man, when I be looking at these people, man. But just with Trey Lance, he can get his shot. And everybody that be calling on these airwaves, including Niner Media, fan base and reporters, everybody gonna be jumping back on this dude. I promise you, Ronbo. Mark my words. And that day or that night or whenever you have a show, I'm gonna call in and say, Ronbo, remember what I was talking about?
Mark it down. It's May the 22nd.
Nope, it's May the 23rd. It's my birthday today.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Birthday! Oh
yeah.
TC, we got to give you the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Happy Niners birthday to the Top Cat. Happy Niners birthday to the TC. Happy. Let's go, Trey. Niner birthday to TC. Happy Niner. TC, you know what?
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping all your predictions come true, too. You know what I'm saying? Let Trey come on in and show
for
us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how the rest of the team was shining, too. What they say, Ronnie Bell was out there showing up. Drake Jackson, he got beefed up.
Yeah. You know, Braden Willis out there stretching out, making tough catches. So, you know. All right.
What they say, Burford beefed up.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody keep forgetting about Burford.
To mention him, yeah.
That's going to be our new right tackle. Everybody forget when he came out of college.
He's a tackle.
He was playing right tackle and left tackle. Everybody forget that. He wasn't a guard. Dude was a left tackle or a right tackle. Right tackle, be specific. That's going to be our new right tackle, I promise you. Him and Trent Williams going to hold the fort down.
You know, because Michael Gitch was already on the right side. That's why there was no chance for him to get over there. But he was a little light last year, according to what's being said. I didn't really notice that last year. That he didn't look all that light to me. But, you know, he's bigger now. So, and, you know, he was a rookie last year, right? These guys come out of school. Yeah, they're still kids. He got that grown man strength. It takes at least a year to start looking the part. So you got to train all off season instead of getting ready for the draft. So, yeah, I don't know. There's no reason to be surprised about that.
Yes, sir. And just like my boy from Australia, man, when he was talking about, man, you gotta let these people play their positions, man, and just let them do their thing like Trey. Let him play quarterback like you let Brock and all these other dudes, CJ and Nick at Night and all. Let these dudes play they stuff. Even with Jimmy Garoppolo, that's why Jimmy was so screwed up, because Kyle was in his head micromanaging that guy so much that it blew his confidence. Now watch how he shine over there in Oakland. I don't care about the Raiders, and I don't care 2 cents about Jimmy. But check it out. Jimmy going to have a successful season, and he going to stay healthy because he ain't up under Kyle. Kyle got to fall back, man.
Yeah, a lot of people think that way. So we're going to find out. If you know what? If Jimmy does go the whole year without getting hurt, and we have anybody get hurt over here, that is going to shine a very bad spotlight on Kyle. Because oh my God, people have been saying it for a long time. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I don't really support that way of thinking, because football is just a nasty, vicious game. But there are things you can do that by design are going to make it safer for your quarterback. And I really wish Kyle would do that. And Papa Dragon pointed out some things 2 or 3 weeks ago about when timing is everything when you're calling plays. So you get a fresh defense at the beginning of the game, you don't run the ball off the tackle with the quarterback. You know, because that tackle is, he's ready to go. Come running up in here. No, wait, third quarter, okay. You know, it's our offensive line that might have a little more command of what's going on. You want to run that play? Okay, if you insist. It's a little safer now. You got to use good judgment. I don't know what Kyle does. He knows this. Why does he do things like that? I can't, I don't know.
He just got to, you know what, Kyle just got to get out. If Kyle can get out his way, you know how I feel about Kyle Ronbo. Kyle, to me, is man, I got so much to say about Kyle. You know what I'm saying? But Kyle, one thing he need to do is just get out his way. Get out his way, man. Get out your own way, Kyle, and let these dudes be these dudes.
Oh, you know, he's a good coach. I mean, he's so good that he doesn't realize there's one thing he needs to remember. Let whatever the quarterback's strength is, let him do that. to some degree. Don't take it all away from him. You know?
Is he a good? But Ronbo, is he a good coach or is he just a good play caller? This fan base, a lot of people confuse that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's a good play caller. I don't know about a good head coach.
Well, no, those play designs you're seeing. Yeah, but you know those play designs you're seeing.
It's different.
TC, those play designs you're seeing out there when the guys are running wide open. Yeah, that's Kyle's. Some of that is Kyle's. Most of that's Kyle's design. He can draw up. He can X and O you to death. And his play calling.
But can he develop somebody and like coach people up? Like a lot of these dudes, a lot of these people came in like already ready. You get what I'm saying, Fred? Like some of these people like coach him a little bit, but like he didn't really have his hands on that. And the position that we count on you as a head coach, like as far as you as a head coach, you run the team, right? You run the team and conduct these. But the position that they count on you to develop is the most important position, the quarterback. And that dude has not developed one yet. He hasn't. So that's what I mean by Kyle, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets deep, Ronbo.
Yeah. And potential is always something you can bring, and you can't build something that doesn't have the right material. So I don't know. He has other people doing that for him anyway. So, and I think he always has, actually. Kyle's the play caller, the play designer. He architects an offense that's going to beat another team by exploiting their weaknesses and things like that. But you're right. I don't know what it's like being a quarterback working with Kyle and taking his instruction.
Yeah.
Really don't.
I just hope he get out of his way, man, and let this kid do his thing. Whether it's Trey, Brock, or Sam, just do his thing. Just let them be them, Kyle. Call the plays and let them be them. Not call a play and say, hey, throw it over here at Debo because I'm going to have Kittle spread him out. You, Shea, going to block him down, but you go over here. I don't care if Danny Gray is wide open running a 9 route. I want you to throw the 3-yard slant. Come on, man.
The nice thing about Brock, you heard his interview, right? Brock says, I just remember what I was taught to do, but I still did a few plays through my own, Jimmy did that too, which is why I had one of the best years he had with the 49ers last year. Jimmy said, Kyle, you know what, let me do this. It takes a little while to get past that with Kyle, because when he first gets you, he probably scares you. But after a while, you realize, Kyle, I got this, okay? It's like your parents when they tell you, look, you need to be careful about this, and you finally say, Mom, I got it, Ma. Okay, I'll be okay, don't worry. That's Kyle. He mother hens him a little bit too much. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll see, Ronbo. We'll be good, though. We all good, Ronbo.
Yeah, we get there. He'll get there. It's going to be, Trey could win that competition. It's not a given. Nobody just said Sam Darnold's going to win it. It's going to be a matchup. We'll see. All right, TC.
Yeah,
see you in a couple of days. All right, fam. Have a good night.
All that, bro. Peace.
Yo, Ellis. Ellis. Yeah.
Yo.
Sitting back here. We got nothing to work with as far as this camp because, they're playing 7-on-7s and they got half the people out. We ain't got no offensive. Well, offensive line, there was one out there. I don't know what they were doing. When I think about it, why do you need an offensive line for 7-on-7s? There's a question. Ellis, how many offensive linemen do you use on a 7-on-7s? 2? 3?
It's been a minute, but from the 7-on-7s that we had, I only recall us having
3,
a center and a tight end, and then we have a running back and wide receivers.
Yeah, because they don't want.
We never had offensive line blocking.
Right. They don't, and it's like they're just there to put what would be kind of thing, because the center's got to snap the ball.
Yeah.
And like you said, a tight end, and he's eligible for the pass as well. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's how we did it, but
that's standard.
Anyway, but
so,
I like what I'm hearing though. I like what I've heard about, guys getting bigger, stronger, looking more hungry. Really looking forward to seeing Drake.
coming out and in year 2 and balling.
He's ready. It looks like
excited
he's ready.
for him. Glad to hear what I heard about Spencer Burford from what TC was talking about. I liked Burford a lot coming out, and I knew that he was a right tackle, so I was kind of like, they weren't. He didn't get really rave reviews about his rookie season playing a guard, but it's because he's not playing the position that he's strongest at, that he's accustomed to playing. You know what I mean? So, it's a given. But he still was more than, or probably, he was at a minimum serviceable and did well. He didn't do perfect and didn't blow away everybody. But, he can play multiple positions on the offensive line. A lot of guys can only play one position.
And
look
in the
at Michael
NFL,
Lynch.
of all places, yes.
So they had him actually even playing out of position. Wasn't Mike McGlinchey a left tackle?
Yeah, Mike played out of position the whole time he was here. I don't know what they're going to do with him in Denver. He's probably going to be out of position over there. Mike, you know what though, Alice? Mike should know how to play right tackle by now. How long do you need to do it before you can get your footwork ready?
For me, there's no excuse as to why you can't play the same position on the opposite side, or at least have some familiarity with it. It shouldn't be like brand new, it shouldn't be like, oh, you've never done it before.
Yeah.
It's,
I give a bye in the first week, but not for the next 4 years. No. You should get that down by now. His footwork was always
it should always be something that the offensive line coaches do, is that, okay, you might be a right guard, but I want you to practice left guard too. So on these days, this might be your strong suit here, but we still want to coach you up to be able to do the opposite, because it gives you more worth. It raises your value and your familiarity with doing the same thing, but on the opposite side, just in case time may come and we might need you for that. I think that would be a good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So, but anyway, Debo didn't show up.
Yeah, Debo's down the street at the restaurant having macaroni and cheese. Debo, you know what? Debo better not come in overweight, though. He can do anything he wants to, kick back, relax, but don't come in here looking fat. That doesn't make any sense. You're a professional. Come on, Debo.
Well, you know what? Was that a few weeks ago where there was some talks of Debo actually looking like he was good. He was looking fit. So I'm sure he's training. I don't think Debo is going to take it.
With some big names we heard a few weeks ago, right? Who was he working out with?
DeAndre.
Yeah.
D-Hop.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He was working out with D-Hop, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And another name, too. So, Debo's serious. Like I said, Debo's feeling the heat. He used to be the biggest impact player we had up until CMC got here. Now they have to share that title.
Yeah, shit. He was thanking John Lynch when he got him.
Yeah.
I heard Debo saying that he went and he thanked him and shit. He might want to take back those thank yous if he's not getting that same production, that same touches and attention. Well, maybe not, but actually for him it's good because he doesn't have to work that much more harder. In his contract, he only has 2 more years.
Mm-hmm. So he needs to stay.
See what I'm saying? So it's advantageous.
It's beat up out there, yes.
Yeah, shit, and I get to get paid top dollar, and I'm getting all this is doing is getting me closer to my next contract. If I don't got to get, if I don't got to put the team on my back, then that's better for me. Yeah. So I don't think he would complain necessarily. I think Brandon Ayuk is the one that's hungry. He wants the touches. He wants the ball.
This time next year, this is going to come into a whole nother conversation, Ayuk versus Debo, and how the allocation of funding is going to go, Yeah. You can get some first round picks for it. If Ayuk has a great year, that's a first round pick. Anybody wants him, they'll give it up too. The Giants will do it. But if you keep Debo,
absolutely.
Can you get another wide receiver? Maybe Ronnie Bell turns into something special. maybe that makes it possible to get rid of Debo. But there's only one Debo in the NFL as far as I'm concerned, no. I mean, I'll stand here and defend him on that all day. There ain't no more Debos. When he gets the ball, look out.
That mentality when he gets the ball in his hands, how he stays on his, he stays on his feet. He doesn't go down. Just the mental makeup, the determination. When a person like that gets the ball in their hands, you can't coach that.
Yep.
You can't replace that.
That's just
that's just a different. Absolutely. Absolutely. I give him that.
Yeah. I mean, I love it when he gets the ball and he's out in the flat. The first thing you do is uh-oh. And you get it too. Debo's uh-ohing all down the field. Oh, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Ellis, I ain't trade him next year. I can't do it. Somebody else has got to go.
Yeah. Well, I think that with the salary cap going up again, and there's some guys that we can potentially restructure, try to free up some money, or like I said, do some back end, some back end stacking of the contracts to where we can afford these guys for a time. Because I mean, George Kittle, I mean, not so much Fred, but Eric Armstead, George Kittle, they're like on the last, I want to say like 2 years or 2 to 3 years of their contract, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be one of those 2 or 3. So depending on what we do with those guys, those are 2 big ticket guys. There may be a way that we can still fit in and maintain the Debo and Ayuk's as players on the team. That would be best for us.
We got to see what Nick gets paid. I don't know kind of what that's going to do to the overall salary cap, but man, Nick is going to he's going to be the highest paid defender in the league. Think about that, Ellis. The highest paid defender in the league coming up. He already told him they don't have to do that. He said, I don't have to be the highest paid guy in the league. Just don't give him something stupid, but I think Nick wouldn't go crazy if you give him a couple of $1 million less than the highest paid player in the league right now.
Yeah, well, he's still the best player. He's still the best defensive edge, He's still the best in the league, even if he's not getting paid best in the league money. Yeah. And guys like that are guys that you want to be part of your team forever. 98% of the players in the NFL are on the pay me, are on the pay me train. Mm-hmm. So for Nick Bosa to be one of the greatest in the league and the greatest at his position, and to not be talking like that, talking like his brother. That's just it's irreplaceable, another irreplaceable piece, and we got to make sure that we, compensate him, wonderfully. So
Aaron Donald gets paid what, 31, 2, something like that, somewhere in there. He's just over 30 something. So, and TJ Watt gets paid somewhere near that. So Nick's going to be somewhere in that area. So if you gave Nick 30, he'd probably be okay. You don't need to give him 32 just to have pass Aaron Donald. Because Nick says, look, if I got 30 million, that one more million doesn't really matter, guys. I'm fine with that.
Exactly.
So, else we got to go.
Exactly.
I'm going to see you on the 25th, which is Friday. And Wednesday? I can't get my days mixed up here. Anyway, 2 days from now. One day after tomorrow. And
yeah, man.
Let's see what they develop in camp.
Yeah, I like the fact that the hate for Trey Lance is still continuous.
Yeah, he's got to change that narrative.
I'm looking for it.
It's up to him. He's just got to come out there and show up and show out, and people get off of him in a heartbeat. But they're just going by what they've seen. And then Brock, like we were talking about earlier, Brock set a new standard. Now, it's like you can't. You got to come in there and just kicking ass from the jump. He can do it. He's just got to do it. And he's seen enough now.
Well,
he's watching. He's got it. He can do it.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to do what Brock did. I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to agree that that's supposed to be the measure. And stick or what he has to do in order to be accepted or in order to have a promising career. Because the guys he got in drafted with played like shit for 20 plus games. So
that's true.
But Trey hasn't even got a chance to start 4 games in a row.
But his teammates,
let's
are going to want to play at the same level. So that's what the problem is. They're on the same team. But we're going to see. I want to see what he looks like.
Yeah.
We got to go, fam, because production is knocking me crazy. All right. I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, fam.
All right, family.
Night,
hit that like, subscribe, man. You know where you at, man.
You get my best to the squad, too.
Be a Niner. I appreciate it, man. Be a Niner. Don't be a fucking hater.
All right. Night, fam.
Later.
All right. Hey, it's JJ. Big Show. Big Show, now you got to come in and you got to work JJ while he's on the phone.
He won't.
Big Show, he never does.
I hope he does, but
I'd be laying on the floor.
Well, he does every once in a while.
When? I've never seen him say. I never hear anything he says. Does he call you while you're like you call him when he's on the phone?
Yeah, he tries to, but he does it on Instagram Messenger, so it doesn't really matter. Or
you guys have brought
so it doesn't really go through.
A new definition of comedy. But JJ, man, we're looking at the things that we saw today. What are your assessment of Kyle's comments? Tony, actually, Kyle's always speaking in abstracts. You have to try to see if is that a subliminal message, Kyle? What are you talking about? That leads to this, and then you come to this particular sentence. If you were to, the cops say, bring in, okay, now we know this, and we know this. Now there's a pattern forming here, and I expect the next act to happen right here. I always love when cops do that. With Kyle, you got to do the same thing. You got to connect the dots. What are you talking about, Kyle? But we got some good guys in OTAs, though. I'm liking Ronnie Bell already. Braden Willis. What are you thinking? Hello? JJ. Jay's rolling his truck. He might have hit a dead zone.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. JJ, go ahead.
He just called, and I merged the calls, and he hung up. What a weirdo.
I shouldn't have said anything. Now he's... Go ahead, see if you can work around it.
I'm not into all that. I find it funny how all of a sudden everybody's a psychologist. I read the body language. I read his head, how he's wiping his head through his mohawk. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with y'all, dude? It's basically, and I think this is really how Kyle has it. It's may the best man win, really. That's what I think is going to come down to.
Yeah, he's not going to. He's never going to go less than the best. that he thinks is the best anyway. So, yeah, you're right. I don't see him doing anything but what's going to help the team.
Yeah. The whole quarterback hate is really – it really comes down to the fan base, really. There's people that don't like Trey for the simple fact of the fan base. Has nothing to do with the kid, nothing about him or anything like that. And then there's people who actually look at how he plays and are not impressed with his play. And then there's people that are non-biased. They're not impressed yet, but they're giving the dude a chance.
Right. Well, see, that's where we all should stand. Yeah, wait and look and see and make a decision. You don't need to call it before it happens or get mad in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I've been saying the whole thing with Sam Darnold. I actually like the pickup simply for the fact that we had 4 quarterbacks last year and they all went down. To get rid of Lance would be completely idiotic.
Right, he's not going anywhere.
Unless you trade for another quarterback.
Well, yeah. At least you got another quarterback. But we need all 3. We've already proven that.
We need 5, Robo.
Oh, but be honest, yes. God. It's ridiculous.
But no, I didn't watch the presser. I saw everyone jumping like crazy because I guess Lance's mechanics have changed when really
he looks a lot better. His release.
Does he, Ronbo? I mean,
he does. And I didn't say anything last year, but I said, that big looping windup is not going to work in the NFL, and his accuracy is questionable. I don't know. he needs to get some work in. And it was honest because the thing is, he hasn't been around the league for long. He took a year off from college football. He's in Division II. Okay, I don't know how much his coaches work with him there, but he wasn't ready. He really wasn't. So now he looks a little better.
Yeah, you're going into a good situation with Kyle, and I think that TC dude was bringing it up as far as Kyle needs to watch what he's doing. I mean, you can't 100% blame it on Kyle. That play where Brock got hurt, you putting a practice squad dude to try to block the freaking quarterback killer Riddick. That was dumb. Come on now.
You mean Brock? Yeah.
Yeah. So
also,
there's some things.
Running Trey against the Hawks, so I question that because, okay, Kyle comes back and says he was supposed to hand the ball off to Kyle, but you know what? He's nervous. He just got started, okay? You got to make sure you know exactly what's going to happen, or don't run it. Don't run it. Do something else.
But see, Ronbo, there's one thing that people don't want to look at. I mean, they was like, well, why is Kyle consistently running him? He's trying to get him hurt, which makes no sense because Kyle was the one who wanted it. Okay, that's number one. Number two, why is he running him if he's extremely accurate, which he wasn't? You got to take that into account too. Maybe because he wasn't completing passes. Maybe all we can do is run it. Other than it's either that or bite your tongue and then just put Jimmy back in, which then you're going to look like an idiot.
That's right. Jimmy was standing on the sideline at that point. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. He was playing to what Brock could do, and he didn't really believe that running routes and hitting timing routes was just his thing just yet. He might have tried to bring that along eventually, but on that particular day, no, not yet.
But Ronbo, wasn't that the excuse as to why supposedly Kyle didn't let Jimmy throw a lot in the playoffs? Because he couldn't complete passes?
Yeah.
That was the excuse, wasn't it?
I think that was I remember hearing that a lot. And not that we had Mostert, one of the greatest running backs
I still hear
in
it.
playoff history, but because Jimmy couldn't throw it.
Even though Kyle said at the end of it, it's like, why did you keep running it? Well, because it was working. They couldn't stop it. Even though I don't know why he didn't do that in the Super Bowl, but
I know, right? So, Kyle, you said that today. Why'd you stick with that the next day, too? I don't know.
Yeah. But I hear Purdy's getting ready to start throwing in a couple of weeks, too.
Yeah. I don't. So I'm going to go back and look at the math on this. It seems to me that's a little earlier than they said. We'll see. Anyway, JJ.
I hate to say it, but
you worried about it? Are you worried about it, too?
No. No, I like the quarterback position that we have because, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I think Darnold's going to beat him out. I think he's going to beat out Trey. But what I think they should do is put Trey in to start, just because it's the beginning of the season. Let the kid get more and more reps because he really needs them. Who knows? Maybe he might be
all that in a bag of chips. You know what? He's got to get the confidence of the rest of the offensive because those guys go after Kyle when they don't think the quarterback can handle it. That's how Jimmy got in last year. Anyway, JJ,
I'd love to have a three-way quarterback controversy. That'd be amazing.
You're going to get it anyway, So it's too late now. It's happening.
Good one, though. Not a good one, though. All right, Rob, I'll let you go.
See you the day after tomorrow. All right. Bye, JJ.
All right,
Big Show's favorite sidekick. Big Show was trying to get him. I should have suggested that. Hey, Tony.
Ronbo, good evening.
Tony, good evening. Tony. How you doing this evening, Tony? Everything all right?
Well, so I'm just sending Texas boy a message here.
I was getting ready to say, I see you and Texas boy going back and forth. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's funny. Funny dude. I was just saying, when Mr. Spotlight does bench Dak Prescott in November because he's throwing so many picks, that $40 million investment, he's going to tell the press that it's a business decision.
No, I'm telling you, if Dak has another year like that, Tony, get ready for that to become a reality. He's not going to be allowed to continue to lose playoffs games and lead the league in INTs. You're getting paid top dollar. What is he, top 5?
Yeah.
Who gets paid more than Dak? Mahomes. Mahomes gets paid more than Dak. Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Rodgers, Mahomes, Lamar
Deshaun
Jackson,
Watson.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray's the biggest pimp in the league, though. But who else? He's put him this way.
Right.
He's in the top 10. Dak is of salaries.
Yep.
Right. So you can't just keep messing up and expecting to be collecting that kind of paycheck every month.
He will be benched. I've already predicted it. He will be benched because it's going to happen.
And if you get benched, didn't they draft a? No, they brought that kid back from last year, right? So he's going to come in and start. So he comes back and starts, and Dak in week 6 has got up to 12 INTs, and it's in. Dak. I know. You want me to see if I can do something about that? No. We want you to prepare yourself to sit down this weekend.
one of the guys in your chat, Isaiah in your chat, he said, "Hey, Texas boy," he said, "How did Dak lead the league in interceptions when he missed 5 games?" And Texas boy didn't answer him.
I've been saying that for weeks, months actually. I said, Stafford gave him a break. Stafford just left. So Dak, you're out on your own, and you just upped and still, after all those games, you still led the league in INTs, and a lot of them were pick sixes. Jesus. So, you can't get paid $40 million in doing that.
Hey, Ronbo, before we get to how you guys win your OTAs and how ours went, a friend of mine sent me a text, and he got some information from Colin Cowherd, and he said, "Man, the media's going crazy in New York. Aaron Rodgers is already hurt the first day of OTAs. He hurt his
pulling that. He was out there pulling a sled. Well, Aaron, wow. The trainers didn't tell you to get something, just do some running and light running or something. It's the first thing you have to pull. What is it? Is it a sprained ankle?
Calf.
Sprained calf.
Yep.
You're not a sprained calf.
Rambo, the media went crazy over there.
It's
I'm like,
New
oh my
York.
God. I said, Ronbo, the New York Jets are the AFC's version of the Dallas Cowboys.
He's got.
Because guess what else happened?
What?
Remember I said that that receiving core, remember they revamped it and I wasn't happy with it because I liked the old receiving core.
Right.
They traded Elijah Moore. They moving Corey Davis down. Alan Lazard, they signed him for 3 years, $33 million.
Mm-hmm.
He got hurt. Trainers took him off the field today.
Oh!
Yep. I don't know what it was. They said it wasn't serious. But I'm like, $33 million? I said, I knew they shouldn't have signed him.
They got to say that.
Corey Davis.
They got to say it. They got to tell the media that because the media is going to go buck wild if they say anything else. And when they find out the truth, though, if they do, if it requires any kind of surgical procedure, the New York media is the nastiest on the planet. They're going to tear him up.
And remember, Ronbo, you called that because you said that months ago. You said, where Aaron's going now, he ain't going to be able to mask or hide none of this stuff no more.
They'll hunt him down in his own house, standing behind a closet. Aaron, I need to ask you a couple of questions. The hell, who are you and how the hell did you get in my house? Aaron, I got 3 other guys who got the same questions. Answer them now, or we'll just go ahead and tell everybody what you said. And you know what that means. We're going to make things up.
Yeah.
Woo!
New York media. So my friend, that was a good point. My friend said, man, the Dallas Cowboys got that sideshow and circus act in Dallas. Now we got a sideshow and circus act in the AFC, the Jets. And I never thought of it until today.
That's good.
It's already starting. First day of OTAs.
Because, Tony, between me and you, how old is Aaron? Rodgers is 30.
I think he's 39. I think he turns 40 this year, I think.
And they paid him how much?
He's making like close to 63, 64 mil a year.
If I'm the owner,
you fall out your chair.
I'm telling you, if I'm the owner, I'm hyperventilating. They got me on an iron lung. You go to the hospital, you can only see me through the glass. Can't nobody come in because they're worried about any kind of germs getting to the because I would be like, I'd be sick. I'm paying him how much? Sir, let's not talk about it now because the fact of the matter is we need you to heal up and get better. Aaron's going to be okay. We're worried about you.
You know what this tells me now? I looked at the depth chart today. I think they're going to keep Corey Davis now, and especially after what happened at OTA today. So now pay one receiver, $10.5 million, which is Corey Davis, and Lazard, $11 million. That's $21.5 million for two receivers.
Mm-hmm. But just
we'll find out June 1st. Next Thursday is June 1st. We'll find out.
They've got endless money in New York, don't they? I guess they've all through these years they've had that though, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's been building up.
They was making a deal. They said, Zach Wilson's taking a snap in OTAs. I'm like, so? It's just OTA. They were making a big deal about it on Cal. I'm like, here we go. The first day of OTAs, they starting already. Then my phone, because my phone has Fox, all the social media hookups. Then I hear my phone, ding, Aaron Rodgers heard, ding, ESPN, ding. My phone was going crazy around 1 o'clock.
Yeah, all you need now is Bleacher Report. They add drama and videos. You know, the thing is, if Aaron doesn't heal up by opening day and is ready to go, there's going to be a lot of trouble in New York City. So that calf injury better not linger.
Who's sitting back laughing, Ronbo? The Green Bay
Packers. And because you know what Aaron's going to do? At some point, he's going to start mean-mouthing the Jets. Well, you know, it wasn't my idea. I mean, they suggested I go and get some leg work in, and they attached with a sled. I told them I could just do, you know, I could get on the bike and do some things. I'm already in pretty good shape, but no. So it's okay. I mean, I understand that's the way they do things here. And Aaron, you're doing it again. Stop it. You're always redirecting blame. I mean, it's not everybody's fault but yours all the time.
Yeah. And how did OTAs go for you guys today?
Good. It did. It did. As I say, Trey looks a lot better in his form, and that's step one. Ronnie Bell looked good today. Drake Jackson is put on some size. He will not be getting tired and worn out too early in the season this year. Braden Willis is out there making them tough catches. Luter looked good. You know, some of the guys that you expect to do well did well. So it's only day one though. Let's see how this progresses.
Bell out of Michigan.
Yeah,
he would have been a first or second round pick if he had torn his ACL 2 years ago.
He was the darling of the workout today. Bell didn't miss nothing, and all those they said every catch was contested. Oh, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about an NFL receiver, tough guy.
Well, Ronbo, did you call it? Did you say Gray better get on his horses and start playing ball?
Danny, man, yeah. I don't know what his role is going to be because Bell's out there. We'll see what Bell looks like in another few weeks. Because, Danny Gray and Ray McLeod need to be sweating.
What about Marlon Davidson? Did you hear anything about him today?
No. You know what? Okay. Before we run out of time, give me a quick rundown of what happened in your camp. I didn't realize we were that late.
Desmond Ridder looked pretty sharp.
Okay.
Him and Drake London, just like last year, nice connection. Pitts is not on the field yet. They're bringing him back slowly.
Yeah.
He'll be fine, though. But Jonnu Smith, the other tight end, looked faster, looked sharper. Ronbo, I just got jacked up when I saw Calais Campbell coming out of Flowery Branch onto the practice field. Like a big giant standing over everybody.
That's what he is. Too bad you guys aren't playing the Cowboys this year.
I know. I wish we had a Dan Quinn, a former coach, all that. I wish we had played the Cowboys.
Tell me, gotta go.
But we got Don Birdham, and people giving Don Birdham all that praise. And Detroit's on the rise with Ronbo. They still got deficiencies on defense. Defense is still their problem.
And if you don't have a defense, you're gonna get beat. You can be all the offense you want to, but you don't want to get in shootouts each and every week because other teams got offenses too. So now what? Anyway.
Yep. Chrissy, Jim, Kim Everett, I see your comment about my Falcons. When you guys are 0-11, about to be 0-12, and those paper bags come out by your fans, myself and the Niner Empire, we will be laughing our asses off. The paper bags will come out in Inglewood.
That's right.
It'll be great for the NFL, too. It'll be great for the NFL if that happens.
I'll love it. Drew, hey, fam, I'll see you day after tomorrow. Let's get together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And our cornerback, the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, Phillips, looked great today.
There you go.
I can't believe that guy lasted to the fourth round, but
See,
we got some deep. We're deep at cornerback, man.
These scouts.
But
I don't know
you
what
say
they're
you're back
thinking.
tomorrow, Rombo?
Not day after tomorrow, because there's no workout
Okay.
tomorrow. So you guys got a workout tomorrow?
Okay. I don't know. I don't think so, but I have to check.
Yeah, our next workout's on the 25th, so we're gonna be off tomorrow. All right, Tony.
All right, sir.
Talk to you later.
See you in a couple days.
Appreciate it,
Yes,
Tony.
sir. Take care.
All right. Bye, Tony.
You too.
All right, fam. Wrap on this one, and I'll see you on the 20th. That's Thursday. So, see what develops next. Because this conversation about Trey versus Darnold is going to get crazy. I just know it already. It's just what we do. But me, I'm neutral. You know what? May the best man win, all right? If Darnold can't beat Trey, I'm delighted. I want to see the best quarterback out there. For the guys who are on the team who, really want to win, you got to have the best quarterback out of all three of them. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean that Brock's going to, you know what? Maybe Trey comes out and shows everybody, look, it was a mistake that I never got here. I was hurt. I'm ready. So we'll see. Meanwhile, fam, thanks for your contributions, and I'll see you Thursday. And